Market SPX. Pivot level 6650. If we open below this, does it quickly turn to negative gamma? If so, a little bit more volatility. VIX above 16 could make for an interesting Monday. So let's get our measurements here. VIX 16.12 puts us just over 1%. Check the close on my daily profit play indicator. That close will be right around 66.64. So I'll do manual 66.64 right there. So kind of our VIX high and low box should be just over 1%. Uh, 16.12. Okay, I'm just going to round up to 1.01. So from the close here, $1.01. That seems like a ways away. 6,600, 65.95. So potential bottom. And I don't think the implied volatility is that high to have that big of a range as far as market makers go today. But we'll have a look. Could have a jump in the VIX. 1.01, 67.30. I'll go 25 to 30. Okay, so pretty wide range there. Market makers for the morning, 20-second expiration. Let's go to SPX. Plus or minus 24.9. Okay. So I have been sprinkling in quite a few broken wing butterflies for daily profit play. They haven't been 0 day. They've been out a week or two. The 26th, the 3rd of October, the 30th, the 29th. I've been sprinkling a lot of those. Last week took an October 3rd, 68.25 is my pin price. 67.60 is a pin price for Monday of next week. 67.90. 67.60, 67.65. And then I did a roll. That's still a 66.40 that I'll keep a close eye on for this week. I think I rolled that one to the 26th. I might consider rolling that one more time, maybe. Unless we get a decent correction down to like 65 or 6,400 this week. Friday in my YouTube session, had an interesting chat with I think it was Grok. So look to see what the top 10 performances were in the S&P, and so far 4.12% is where we closed. One of the top 5 performances in S&P history. Also the 50-day moving average, one of the longest stretches in history. Currently we're at 93 bars away from the 50-day moving average. That's the EMA, exponential moving average. I look back in history since the I should have put the years down here, but only 3 other times has it been a longer streak than 93 bars. So pretty impressive. And I mean, rising wedge is still what I see. I know it's not the most enjoyable pattern because, oh my gosh, it's broken. It's invalidating that. Well, I mean, if it's invalidating, then you're looking for some type of capitulation move, and then it still reverses and sweeps a low, and we put in a correction either way. Hard part is what we've clearly been struggling with is the timing of any type of correction. What is the catalyst? I mean, maybe it's a nothing burger. Maybe it's this week when it's what's happening. Nothing. U.S. GDP numbers and unemployment claims, the core PC on Friday, and we have a futures market that's opening, 0.3% lower, 0.27% lower. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Good catch. Chris Pulver Pub at gmail.com. Yeah, there is an R in there. Pulve with an R. All right. Let's take a look at the SPY. So 661 SPY, that is around 0.25%. 0.25%. Go back to SPX. 0.25%. So open is around 66.46. 66.46. Seems like there's a potential for a lot of movement, these first couple of days. I mean, if we're gapping lower, let me see what it shows here for anything other than set to open lower. Visa crackdown ways, is that what it is? Okay. So apparently it's immigration policy. The black swan that nobody was talking about. I mean, the market just needs an excuse. I'm telling you, this positive or negative gamma, this will be an important spot simply because if we're in red, so we're below 66.50, if we're below this, if this flips red and price continues to sell off, the market going into negative gamma can finally push this into what we had before, which was, run up into the high teens. So at 16, does it go up into the, 17, 18, 19 zone for VIX? Do we finally flush above 20 for the first time in a while? Or is it the same thing we've been watching for the last several months, which is VIX gets up to like 17, 18, and then it comes all the way back down to sub 15. Vol suppression has been very, very real in 2025. I mean, this seems like, oh, there's a lot of volatility there. No, there's not. This is nothing. A run into the 20s, back down to 15 is nothing. A run to 17 or 19 is, smash back down to sub 15 is nothing. So vol suppression lives between 17, 18, 19. As far as defending it, if it gets above 20, I was actually surprised this little flush up into the 20s briefly came right back down. Usually vol suppression funds, there's funds that just sell premium all the time. Usually they will cease around 20 because we can have a much nastier move to the upside. And yeah, I don't know. I just feel like this market is either too complacent, too bullish. I noticed last week, we talked about this in my Friday session, the big jump in bullishness from the neutral party. This is the AAII sentiment survey. It has been completely contrarian this entire 4 or 5 months. Ever since our bottom in April, it's been persistently bearish, and even having 42.4 still in the bearish camp. But this is the big change where the bulls jumped from 28 to 41.7, and we went from a neutral group of 22.5 to 16. So a lot of people coming off the fence for the first time in a while, pivoting into a bullish sentiment. I do think this is, still offering a contrarian play, which is big jump in bullishness at all-time highs, big drop in the neutral camp, still persistently higher. So I wonder if by Wednesday, when this thing prints again, if we are going to see this number lower, this number higher, this number maybe the same. So let's say we go 35% bears, 45% bulls, and whatever's left. That's 80, so this would be 20, I guess. right? But look at the historical averages: 37.5 for the Bulls, 31% for the Bears. Neutral, 31.5. So if that neutral party is, you're like, look, you got to, it's like the neutral party is being forced to pick a side. And obviously for 4 or 5 months, squeeze to the upside, this complacent zombie market to the upside. Yeah, finally that neutral party is like, all right, we give up. We give up. We'll go higher. Okay. But I think that's a contrarian play. Um, I've been waiting for this sentiment to kind of come off the fence for a while and shift into more neutral to bullish, because obviously what have we been seeing for 5 months? Bullishness. You know, I'm surprised it's taken this long. Like, consumer sentiment is super bad. University of Michigan sentiment, I mean, you can talk it's left leaning or whatever. It doesn't matter. The data, it's hard to believe the data. I feel like our CPI numbers are, you know, perfectly accurate, where they're like, oh, forecasted month over month 0.2% came in 0.2, forecasted 0.3 came in 0.3. And the thing that's going to be October 3rd, which will be next Friday, will be another non-farm payroll. With the current administration and immigration policies, we are not going to see, 200,000 jobs in a month. Like, non-farm payroll numbers are probably going to be scary, scary low. I would be shocked if we're getting over 100K, to be honest. So is it, the labor market that scares everything? Is it what rolls things over? I don't know. Everyone's still talking about how bearish it is. But at the same time, we see this type of nasty sentiment. And if you talk to anybody out there, everyone's really bullish, because everyone is. I believe in AI. I believe in the markets can't go do anything wrong. This is deregulation. This is the best administration. This is all pro growth. Sure. And we run it hot. And whether this is a bubble or not, bubbles can last a long time. The differences between 2000 and 2001 is you had companies that had no business at the valuations that they're at, and now you have companies that are trillions of dollars in market cap. I still think that rotation is going to be really interesting at some point. So, long story short, technically speaking, I'm in the same camp I've been the last couple of weeks, which is I am cautious on a pullback coming back to at least the 50-day moving average. Okay, that's it. Like, and when this happens, I'll be a much happier positioned trader for buying the dip. I mean, I just don't know when this happens, because now that we have this FOMC low and we have this low and this low, those are the three support levels that I'd be watching, right? This is a key low right here. This is a key low right here. These are all key levels that if the market can take those out, then I think it gives the edge to the bears briefly, but enough so that, any type of correction pulls back here, falls again. That's usually where it becomes unfun for investors. Is not the first correction, it's the dead cat bounce and the wave lower. That's where most people aren't positioned for it, because you ever notice when the market has a sell-off, okay, everyone that's been positioned for something bearish, buying puts, bear put spreads, whatever it is to kind of basically hedge, it's this first little bit that you might get paid on, okay? And then the market goes up. You're like, okay, cool, no big deal. Now puts are expensive, so you don't hedge anything lower. And then the market goes down, and that's when traders get really hurt, because they're already over their skis in exposure. They're already leveraged to the teeth, and that second wave down, or I guess if it was a 1, 2, 3, it's that push lower that all of a sudden busts everybody, because it's too expensive to hedge all of a sudden, right? But this is why, when I talk through hedging, I run this class, which is we don't hedge when it's expensive. We hedge when it's cheap, like it is now. We hedge out, 6 months, 12 months in advance. I hedge for, big corrections. Like, if we get a 10% correction, I should get paid. If we get a 15 to 20% correction, I should get paid a ton of money. That at least helps alleviate some of the downside. Okay. So however it plays out, we'll see. But I'm telling you, watch these key lows, because I was surprised to see FOMC as reflexive as it was last week. A little volatility on Wednesday, and then right back to highs on Thursday. All-time highs hit. Friday, same thing. And it wasn't really an all-time high day on Friday. It was more so how the day closed. Here is the price action from Friday. So we opened up on Friday. Pretty sure this would have been our Friday. This was Friday. because we had that disconnect between the futures market. We had the SPX expirations, the AM expirations. There was a big gap higher. Market sold off, filled the gap, and then proceeded right back up to the start, chop, 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 and then closed the day higher. So we crossed all-time highs again on Friday. And here we are, just a few minutes before the open. Crash insurance. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is prosperitypub.com/insurance. See if that's right. prosperitypub.com/insurance. Yep. So 197, pretty much like the cost of buying insurance, and learn how to protect your portfolio. So yeah, I'll send the link. Prosperity Pub /insurance. There you go. Trade number 94. That's for Waterfall Income Buck. Yep, that's out to the 30th, which is going to be next Tuesday. Right now, I'm just going to leave that trade alone. Just going to leave it alone for right now. If we get a decent sell-off below 6,600, I think we can make a quick run to 6,500. Again, a quick move into negative gamma territory, I think hits this like 21 period, which is 65.34. We hit this 6,400, which is the 50-day moving average. So between the 21 period, the 50 period, if anything gets us into those areas, that trade should be okay. Worst case would be I'd consider maybe rolling through like non-farm payroll. That first week of October, maybe rolling out to the 3rd or the, I guess 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, like a Monday, or push it out a week. But we'll talk about that more in class today. I've got class at 11:30 for Waterfall Income, our live trading session. I also have some master classes this week. Today, I think I put on the calendar. So today, Daily Profit Play, I'm hosting a master class at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Live session at 11:30 for Waterfall. 1 p.m. today, master class for Daily Profit Play. Tuesday and Thursday. Actually, Dion, I'm going to send you a link. Let's see. Yep. So Tuesday and Thursday, Waterfall Income Master Classes. Today, 1 p.m. Daily Profit Play. Okay. Yep. Replay's fine. I record every session. All right. So Dion, I'm going to send a message on what the calendar shows. So let's go. Okay, we're good. Yeah, that thread for the Chris Pulver trading chat. Daily Profit Play Monday today, 1 p.m. Waterfall 1 p.m. Tuesday, Thursday for live sessions. Okay. All right. 3 minutes for the open. VIX at 1605, looking to gap a little bit lower. ES is retreated slightly down 0.25 now. SPY maybe has retreated from a 0.25, maybe slightly less. Now we're at 662. About a 0.23% move. 0.23%. So 0.23 puts us around 66.48. And that all important positive negative gamma pivot point is 66.50. So is it just a typical rangy Monday? We'll find out. I mean, if it opens up right at 50, comes right back to the gap fill, does it have a directional charge once again? Like, is that the dip? I mean, 0.25% is not a dip. But let's see what we can get. I'm curious how far out I can go today for, VIX at 16. Could we go up into like 70, 75, 80? Plus or minus on the days 25. Even if we opened at 40 and change, do we go up 30, 40 points? mean, the high is way up there based on the VIX. So let me switch this back over to previous days. Close. Okay. This should update right when we have opening bell. Actually, let us leave it here. So 6664. Okay. So slight gap lower coming. Futures market 0.25 lower. S&P probably opening up 0.22122 lower. Rob, are there? Yeah, any live session I do is recorded. If it's this live session for Daily Profit Play, we get these recorded and posted in my in the YouTube channel, youtube.com/financial wars. All of my master classes for Daily Profit Play this week, it'll be recorded in the classroom for master classes. Waterfall income this week, master classes. Yep, all those will be recorded. All right, 1 minute for the bell. See what our plus minus is on the day. Got about 25 points, 66.50, opened up right around that positive negative gamma pivot. Real-time flows. 100 spent ATRs above 6,700 today. Okay. Snap crossing 875. That's interesting. That's good. So SPX is opening right here. Okay. 66.50. There's our open. Keep an eye on this little green dot. This is either green or red, depending on if we're positive, negative gamma. VIX at 1605. We'll keep an eye on this one for a few minutes. See if we're going higher VIX or lower VIX into the 10 o'clock handle. All right. So let's have a look. Plus minus 16. Good Lord. It's so low. It's so low. Gosh, I'd like to go up a little bit higher. 75 by 80. 75 by 80 is an 11 delta, and 10 and 05 is an 11 delta. I'm willing to take this trade. Look at how much more room you have to the put side. Center price, a lot further away on the put side for that 11 delta. I kind of want to take this trade, but I'm not going to take it for 80 cents. This would be a trade that I'm like, okay, if I'm going to set this trade in for a daily profit play, I'd like to take this for $1, not 80 cents. That way we at least get some room one way or the other. I could do a 16 delta that's 70.75. It's not that far away. I'm going to move this one up. So I'm going to put this one for $1 pending order, 75 by 80 on the call side and 10 and 05 on the put side. Try to set it up for $1 just so that way I can manage risk. I pull in $1 and I'm risking 4 to make 1. If I can manage that 1 for, let's say, 30, 40, 50% of my credit, at least I get filled at a level that I'm somewhat happy with. But that's a 13 delta call versus a 10 delta put. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it here and just kind of let price come to me. So I'll set this in for $1 pending order for today. Okay, so sit there. I'll post this in the chat for a daily profit play. Telegram. So SPX. Okay, trades in. It's pending. I haven't been filled. Trade around 70 cents right now. We'll see if price actually makes a directional move in any way, shape, or form. Okay. I do want to take a look. So I did a 6640 roll that expires on Friday. I guess I have a little bit more time in that one. Let me take a look at that waterfall trade. So waterfall would be this one. Um, right now, the call side. So this 25 and 30. So this is a bull call spread for a profit trap. Right now, it is up around 250 bucks. That's basically what helps me with the risk side. So it's a $5 profit trap, but my line in the sand is a 20 wide credit spread, which is right here. So the 6640 by 60, it might be worth rolling. So I pulled in $2.30 credit. If I roll that credit spread, it's possible I can roll that credit spread for additional credit. As long as I keep it 20 wide, it allows me to reduce the size of my loss. This trade originally was, so it's 20 wide, -5, -2.30. 1270 would be max risk. So I'd like to roll this for some credit. Um, is this a free hedge? Let's see. So if I roll this 6640 and 60, and again, if I do this right now, I'm going to talk about this more in waterfall income. I'll send out a roll alert if we do this. We don't do this very often, but a little maintenance if needed. So let me see if I can roll this. So September 30th to maybe the 3rd, which is Friday. Keep the same strikes, roll it for 15 cents, maybe go out another week. 6 is the Monday. So 40 and 60. Maybe I can roll this thing for 75 cents. Let's see if I can roll this. I have a closing order. Okay, so I cancel that closing order and set this up for maybe 75 cents. Okay, come on. 70 not filling, 65. Survey says, come on, man. $60. It's a 20 wide credit spread. I can't roll this thing for 60 cents. It's frustrating. All right. I'll try 55. 50 or 55 should fill. All right, just got filled for 60 cents. So waterfall income, I'm doing a roll. I'm going to post this as an alert for trade management update. All right, this is coming in about 30 seconds. Waterfall income, trade management, SPX 930 expiration, call Condor trade. I am rolling the 6640. The 6625 buy call and 6630 sell call is the bull call spread. I can still offer full profit of $5 if SPX is greater than 6630 by 930. Fair call spread out to 10. Uh, 10 expiration for a bit more time to see the 50 period EMA tested or hit for a short-term correction. Okay, we'll talk about that more in class today. But you're going to take, if you're in my waterfall income class, you can take just the bear call spread, which is a 6640 and 6660, and just roll that for time. Keep the strikes the same. See if I can post a picture here. Okay. That should not have been. Hang on a second. Deanna, don't post that picture. For some reason, it flashed with a 2. It should be there. Those are all 1s. Don't send that picture. Hang on. That's weird. Okay. So the trade that just got rolled should be here. So this is now part of the call condor. So let me ungroup this. So waterfall, call condor with roll. It's going to be a little weird. But now I have the 25 by 30 that goes out to next Tuesday. That's a bull call spread. And then I rolled the 66, 40, and 60 out to the 10th. And that's where I pulled in an extra 60 cents, which makes that trade in our tracker $2.90. $2.90. So that should be for waterfall. And we'll talk about all those details in class. That shouldn't be difficult to roll. So we could probably do that today in class as well if you're not able to see that or struggling to get the roll in. So that is trade number 94. So 94 roll. So making a new line entry on the tracker, SPX. I'm keeping the 930 expiration, 6625 call, 6630 call, and then putting in a 1010 expiration, 6640, 6660. So 290 is our total credit on the trade. Okay. All right. So now if you're in my waterfall income, this is what I'm doing on the tracker. So I've got trade number 94 and then trade number 94 roll. So all I'm doing is I'm keeping the bull call spread the same. This 230 credit, I pulled another 60 cents. So now it's for 290 total. And I still have risk in the trade. Right now, that would be, we'll see what the bull call spread closes for. If all this, by the way, is like, if we get a correction this week and the market is down to 6,500, 6,450, fine. I want to keep an eye on this net credit. Okay. I'll watch this bull call spread. The bear call spread's really where we're making most of the money. And I mean, we'll manage the trade. But I thought if for some reason this price isn't below 66.40 by this week or by next Tuesday, I want to give it a little bit more time. The platform doesn't let me sell and buy again. Meaning what? What platform, CB? What platform? I mean, most brokers, you should be able to roll, or you, I'm trying to think, or if you can build it out where you're like closing down one side and opening the other, you should be able to build the ticket how you want. It's a bank one. Oh, interesting. Um, I don't know. I mean, that sounds like a question for that bank, that broker. I don't know. That seems weird if you can't roll it. That's certainly restricting your trading permissions. But at the same time, the simplest way is to it's still defined risk. So I'm trying to keep the trade survivable. So I'm trying to give us a little bit more time to avoid a loss. If you can roll it, great. If you can't, still define risk, and that's what I'd have to be comfortable taking if I knew I couldn't roll it. Okay, Brandon, I'm seeing your comment there. Not a daily profit play member, but interested in joining. Not familiar with butterflies. Capital required. Yeah, all good questions. Daily profit play. You're welcome to join. I mean, all my services here. So daily profit play, we trade every single day. I've done a lot of master classes here these last couple weeks on daily profit play and waterfall income and newsbreakers last week and double up alerts. So one thing I'm doing a lot more of is every single week courses that I'm talking about, I'm doing master classes. So this week I'm hosting obviously trading sessions every single day for daily profit play. I've got an 11:30 Monday session for waterfall income. I'm doing master classes this week on daily profit play. One today, in fact, at 1 p.m. and then waterfall income Tuesday and Thursday for master classes. So if you want to jump in, I know we have links for these. I think right now it's pressbirdipub.com/100. That would be my daily profit play. Or you can give our team, drop them a quick email, support@pressbirdipub.com, and just let them know you're interested in daily profit play or whatever it is. All the strategies you're mentioning, not familiar with butterflies, capital required. Look, all these trades, we can take these for as little as like $300 to $500. So as far as buying power, $300 to $500 is typically the average. I'm comfortable going up, usually buying power wise, about $1,000 and making that kind of my defined risk trade. So I'm not risking more than $1,000 a day, and and that's a lot for some. For some, that's not, but that's what I'm comfortable with. I think it's silly for us to take bigger losses than that, especially how active we are. And I want to make sure that whatever happens day in day out, we can survive any type of anomaly day. Because usually if we take a loss, it's seldom that we do, but if we do take a loss, something silly had to happen. Because with daily profit play, we're not only in with high probabilities, but we're managing trades pretty early. So I'm not just letting a trade sit all day. I've got to take profit. I've got to find risk. So I know exactly what I'm dealing with as far as the market can do whatever it needs to do for the day, whatever it wants to do for the day. We should come out on the winning side. Okay. So quickest way, just drop us an email, support@pressbirdipub.com. Yeah, CB, that should be out in check your waterfall classroom alerts. So what I'm doing is I'm rolling that bear call spread. It's a 66.40, which is our sell call, and a 66.60, which is our buy call. That's a 20 wide bear call spread. I'm rolling that out in time. So the strikes are the same. I'm just rolling it out in time for 60 cents. So it's giving me a little bit more time in the trade. Okay, very good. All right. Let's see here. Snap having a big rip to the upside. That's not too bad. Snap was up to 928 this morning. Nice little pop here. We got some Snapchat AI. Shares of Snap fell 3.3 after investor group announced deal to take control of TikTok's operations, contributing. Okay. I mean, to me, this is just like a technical squeeze. My take profit is set at 15 to 16 bucks. Right now, price action on the day, pretty quiet for a Monday. We're still hanging into that positive gamma floor at 66.50. Looks like the market doesn't want to turn over too aggressively. I don't think I'm going to get filled on the daily profit play the way I want. It's trading for 60 cents right now. Let's see here. Is that centered enough? Let me go back and revisit the whole chain today. Okay. So for today, right now, if we kind of recenter this thing, 75 by 80 is a 13 delta. Now the 10 and 5 is a, let's see here, that's really low delta, 6 delta. Let me try to recenter this thing. So I don't mind the 75 by 80. And maybe this is the only crappy part is we've got to go into such a much higher delta. Even if I go now to a 12 delta, make it delta neutral, I'm only getting 80 cents in the trade. Gosh. I don't like taking this trade for less than $1. And if I go up another delta, now it's a 15 delta and 14 delta, I don't even get $1 for the trade. I kind of hate it. Otherwise, I gotta go way closer to price. This is a 20 delta. This is a 19 delta. Now I get $1 and change. So I can make this very tight to price, but then it gives it little to no wiggle room on the expected move. So we'd have to have an extremely quiet Monday for this trade to be something I'd be okay with. So I'm just going to let this one hang out at $1 for right now. I mean, ATR wise, let's take a look at our ATR levels. I mean, do we clearly see a lot more flows to the upside, just kind of filling this gap around like 66, 65, maybe 70. Do we poke highs again today? Who knows? Man, it'll be frustrating to see this market just be dead today and just see the premium so low that I couldn't really take the trade that I wanted. So the only real play that I see this morning that wouldn't be terrible, I don't love it, but it'd be like maybe this, like the 50 by 45, see what that offers. 50 by 45. So $1.30 on that bull put spread, but then you need price to go up. If you want to do an in the money bull call spread, 50 by 55, you pay $3 to make 2 as long as it stays above that. You need direction. So I'm trying to avoid picking a direction. I just want to go both sides of the trade. But now the deltas are so off, and the market maker's plus minus 13 on the day. Just weird. Just the same day as every day, man. This is just zombie positive gamma, 0 DT supporting this market until it doesn't. Oscar, when I tried to use Thinkorswim's paper trade mode, SPX options for practice, message said SPX cannot be traded on that day. Does anybody else trade a demo account for Thinkorswim? Can you trade a SPX demo? Pretty sure you can. Yeah, that's what I thought. Buck on a Monday, I'm not taking that trade for Monday. We might have little to no direction. If I've got to go 15, 20 wide in a dead zone, I just feel like that's the entire trading range for the day. So I'm not doing the inverse iron condor. Okay, Mark says I've been trading a couple weeks on Thinkorswim. So I'll just ask that again. It's paper trading. So what Oscar's saying in the chat is paper trading is not letting him trade SPX. But if you can paper trade it, Oscar, you might just want to check with a customer support team and just double check the ticker. Maybe there's something different. I thought it should be allowed. It shouldn't restrict you. So maybe they're do a live chat with Thinkorswim or something. See what they say. Yeah, I get it. I get it. But the plus minus in the day is only 13 points. So if you're going, how wide are you on that reverse iron condor right now? 15 or 20? 15 wide. I mean, that is a good premium. Um, but we're talking probably a 50 or 55 call side and then a 65 or 70. I mean, if price isn't here, this entire area is the dead zone. So you need price to make new highs today, or you need price to break today's low. It is a Monday. The probability of that happening are pretty slim, honestly. If it's a typical Monday, we probably see mostly a range bound day. So yeah, despite the good fill, it's like I just probably won't take it. I really resort to reverse iron condor trades on Thursdays, Fridays if I'm getting a sense of direction. I'm still actually quite surprised we have had little to no direction. Take a look at this SPX. Where is my other? This should be the DPP. This guy. Take a look at this workspace here. Okay. Look at how many quiet days we've had. This would be so far today pretty quiet. I might end up just looking to see if I can get a bear call spread today. I still don't think the premium is going to be great though. So we have had FOMC was clearly the big roller coaster ride of volatility. This was down and up and then right back to center the entire day. This was back to center the entire day. This was a super quiet day leading to FOMC. This was down and pause the entire day with a tiny little range. I mean, we saw pretty much like nothing burger days for a long time since. So last Wednesday we had some shakeup during FOMC. The week before that was the 11th of September. That was the only other day that had like a big directional push that pushed bullish all day. Choppy. This was non-farm payroll. Okay, we made quite a bit of profit on that one because we were short going into that Friday. Thursday was another big directional day. Quiet Wednesday, choppy centered Monday. This was the Tuesday for Labor Day, so no trading on Monday. So it's been a couple weeks of like little to no direction, even though the market's at highs. We're at all-time highs. Let me see. So let's have a look. Yeah, plus or minus 13 on the day. It's like this is embarrassingly small. So if I have just on the 75.80 for a buck. All right. So 75 to 80. I'm hoping that we don't fill. I'm going to try. So this trade might get, I mean, if we push up into like 70, 75, that might be enough to get the bear call spread filled, which this trade will still result in a fill. But 75 by 80, just kind of by itself, or an 80 by 85. Let's see. Let me test one thing here. I've still got time before this, 4-leg trade gets filled, if it does get filled. Otherwise, if I want to be brave, I don't want to take that much risk for Monday though. 80 by 90, 85 by 95. Even going 10 wide, risking almost $2,000, I can't even get $1. These premiums are garbage, man. Like today's 0DT is a very difficult premium. It's just not offering that much if you're trying to go, I don't know, a reasonable delta out of the money. So if I went 75, 85, 80, 90, I get $1.60. I'm risking 18.40. That's way too much risk. So I'd like to keep these tighter. 70, 75, 80, 85, $1.50. I don't like that either. See what I'm saying? Like I just want to get $1. If I'm to take a 5 wide spread, I want $1. If I'm going 10 wide, I want $2. It's that simple. Like I don't think we should settle for less premium than that. Power for JP speaking. A couple things. We have PMIs this week. So PMIs globally. So Eurozone's coming out PMIs. US has PMIs as well. We have unemployment claims on Thursday. We have GDP on Thursday. We have PC on Friday. And we're also the week after OPEX. So I think a lot of hedges went, in and out. We had a fixed expiration last week. A lot of hedges like kind of expired last week. So I wonder if there's going to be new hedges put on. I just don't know if the hedges are going to be put on like short term or medium term. I mean, I guess it's all short term. If you're talking 30 days or less, it's technically short term. But in today's day and age of zero DT, it's like hedging is literally like a zero day game. On the cause of autism. Okay. I think it's just diagnosed more. I don't think kids are any more autistic today than they were 30, 40, 50 years ago. I just think we'd like to give kids more medicine. My kid's acting weird. He must be autistic. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. But I've got friends that have, nonverbal autistic kids, and it's not easy. I don't know if you can link it to a cause, but ADHD, I mean, it's not easy. I don't know. I say this like I'm new to the parenting game. I've got an 8-month-old. We've got another one on the way, probably April of next year. So, I mean, I don't think there's a playbook or textbook to how to raise kids, but you just hope you don't mess them up. All right. So I am not getting a trade that I want today. I'm trying to do an Iron Condor daily profit play, 75 by 80 and 10 by 5. It's still offering 70 plus cents. Nothing crazy. If I just did the 75.80 by itself, it's 60 cents. I'll do this. That Iron Condor is maybe going to fill, or let me try to play around with the numbers here. That's a 18 delta. I mean, the 50% ATR is a 40. So if I went like 35, 30, I could get this trade going. Let's see. Check those gamma levels. So 75, 80. That shouldn't be a problem getting filled. I think I'm going to switch this up. 35, 30. Give me a second here. I'm going to go 80, 85. So I'm going to go 80, 85, 35, 30. Put this one in for $1. See if this fills. So I'm going to tweak the Iron Condor for this morning. I'll update this in Telegram right here. So quick update. I'm editing the same Telegram post for Daily Profit Play. Quick update. I'm modifying the legs of this trade. Now you can cancel. So today's the 22nd. 66.80. 66.35. Okay, so I'm going a little bit higher on the call side and a little bit closer on the put side because we went very quickly to a single digit delta on the put. So 6680 by 85, 6635 by 30 for $1. Still not filled, but that way I also give myself a little bit more breathing room. If price is going to come up into, an ATR level, we just try to grind to highs again, maybe get filled on the call side or enough credit to get that trade filled for $1, and then price doesn't breach the 80.85 at least for the day. Okay. Thanks, Greg. Yeah, it's been fun, man. He's our boy's about to be 9 months, so it's a lot different than just a sleeping, eating machine. He said he's got a nice little personality, so having fun with him. I'm ready just to like roughhouse with him. I'm actually gonna buy this like little MMA pit that has like two soccer goals and a basketball hoop in it on a memory foam, and just like toss them in there and get ready to. All right, here's a fun question. Okay, I haven't done this yet, so don't call Child Protective Services on me. Joking. I it's exciting having a boy, and I have this electric skateboard that I will like skate down like less than a mile down the road. We have like little breakfast spots, and you can pick up coffee or whatever. So I thought, okay, we got this cool backpack, like a hiking backpack. Throw them in the backpack, put them on the skateboard, and then skate on down to pick up some coffee. Now, of course, I'm like, that'd be fun. I skate on this thing all the time. And my fiance is like, terrible idea. Let's ask everybody we know. And they all agree that's a terrible idea. So we haven't done it. And probably not until he's a little bit older, or he can, get on one of those little balance bikes. He can do it himself. Greg says, good idea. Yeah. Oh, that's you and me, man. You and me. One idea. It's just because he's if anything happens, there's pretty much no defense for him. Yeah, I know. So we're gonna put a pin in that one. That's correct. Yep, I know. So anyway, just thought I'd throw it out there. Haven't done it. Doesn't make me a bad parent. We thought logically and rationally through it, and it was funny. Like all of our friends, family were like, probably not a good idea. So we listened. Yep, I agree. Okay, hanging out 70 cents on the Iron Condor, still hasn't filled yet. Price looks like it's trying to come back and fill the gap, maybe even get back to highs again. What I'm trying to do is basically brace for some resistance. Okay, so if we come into any of these major gamma levels today, i.e., back up to where we had the highs last week, maybe testing the highs from last week, that is a 70, 75. I'm trying to put my call spread 80, 85. So we'd have to get all the way through this on the day. We'd have to have a plus minus on the day that's greater than what the market said, right? So we open here. We're already down about 15 points. Now we've rallied back up 15 points. Are we going to go 20, 30 the upside? I mean, maybe. Market just doesn't seem to care. So I think this is a good trade if it gets filled. We're trading for about 70 cents right now. I'm not going to take less than that. I mean, I think the reality is if you're like, well, I just want something today, oh, then you can get 65 cents, risk 435 and let it sit for the day. But if I'm going 5 wide, I want at least $1. If I'm going 10 wide, I want $2. I think it's silly to take on the excessive risk. So if we get the 80 by 85 to fill, hopefully it's out of the way enough that we hit a resistance level around, I'd say 70, 75 would be a pretty good resistance level today. We would be looking to sell right at the 50% ATR, and hopefully it doesn't stay there for the day. Typically a range-based day like Mondays, the markets can come up and test. So if we have this high, this low, and what I can't control is, let's say price just does this all day. If price does that all day, that is out of my hands. I might not get the fill that I want, and that's okay. Tesla's up again. Yep. Tesla's doing good. I am creeping up to fresh highs again for the year, 583. I had a screenshot on the 18th. Let's see what this was. 586 is my high for the year. 586. So we're creeping back up there at 583. Not bad. James, was that a winner? Original daily profit play hit 94 cents. Did you get filled or are you closed out already? Okay, all good. Filled, got it. Okay, so trading right now, the pending order for $1 is trading for about 70 cents credit. I'm still going to let it marinate. If it gets filled for $1, great. Um, I'd like to switch gears here, just revisit the schedule for the day. So today, 1 p.m. masterclass for daily profit play, live trading session at 11:30 a.m. for waterfall income, and then I'm also hosting 2 masterclasses this week on waterfall income. Um, I mean, look, we grind through the indexes every single day, daily profit play. We income trade the indexes every week for waterfall income. Newsbreakers, we have some pending orders. I think we have like 5 or 6 orders that are sitting from last week. We did newsbreakers, we had master classes, looked at all the mechanics, and put in some low risk, high reward trades. Double up. That's a day by day. If I find a good level, I'll trade to it. I'm pretty much trading SPX, SPY, Qs, and Mag 7. Pinch point. We'll get some new scanners. We got some trades running from last week. Crash insurance, very inexpensive way to hedge your portfolio. Project Options Edge, more of my like kitchen sink. Probably takes a bit more risk capital for Project Options Edge. I oftentimes will own shares of something, or I'll do ratio spreads, which include naked puts. So yeah, you want to have a bit more cash. I use it mostly for margin accounts. For some of the accounts I look after, like that have margin, Project Options Edge is a very discretionary service where I trade probably the most amount of strategies than I do anywhere else. But happy to teach you on all these strategies to make sure that whatever we're doing, there's ways to tackle the market daily and weekly, uh, weekly, weekly or bi-weekly. This is a swing strategy, typically out 30 to 60 days. This is hedging. I usually like to hedge out 6 to 12 months. And then these are usually 60 to 90-day swings, if not longer. Sometimes campaign trades, but still, a lot of ways to get the job done. That's my point. Okay. So we do have classes today. I want to pivot into waterfall income. So I've got a class coming up at 11:30 a.m. You're welcome to jump right into that in the next hour and 20 minutes with me. This is a class that has the highest win rate of all of my services. So our live trades, 93%. We have a trade, like I just did a roll on this one so we can survive. We only, in the losses we took, even during Liberation Day, we took one loss as the market was selling off more than 20%. And that one loss was manageable. It set us back about 5 trades. We've been grinding every week since. We haven't had a single losing week since April. So super high win percentage. It's one of the coolest phenomenons in the entire market. If I could test this strategy going back, 50 years, I would. And I'm pretty confident that this is one way. If you think about what the market has done over time, if you could dollar cost average in the market, you're going to make a lot of money, right? Obviously, not everything's going to be perfect for timing. There's going to be bull markets and bear markets. There's going to be sideways markets. We can generate income consistently. Okay. So the examples I'm talking about today with waterfall income is based on about a $5,000 risk. Now, that's possibly a lot of risk for a lot of people. You don't have to risk that much money. You can take as little as $1,000, as little as $500, as little as $300, even as little as less than $100 risk on some of these trades. And again, these live trade sessions, master classes I host, I'll give that, the full breakdown and how we do a couple of core strategies. I have strategy 1 and strategy 2 for waterfall income. Okay. If you want to check out any terms, conditions, disclaimers, more stuff on waterfall income, check it out on our Trading Flip homepage. All right. As always in trading, there's winners and losers. Even this service, as good as it is, my highest win rate of all the courses that I run, we're still at 93% winners. I'll take it. I'm happy with